This time on Storytime with Paul and Monica, Campfire Stories, minus the campfire. This story was written by me and takes place deep within the jungles of Africa. It's called Escape in Africa, and begins like this. The thorny vine struck hard against Prince Kabu's bare back. He leaned against the wooden axe that formed his whipping post and tightened his muscles to prepare for the next blow. Again, the vine tore into his flesh. I must not cry out, he thought. My people are watching. I must be brave for their sake. Prince Kabu could feel the poison from the vines eating into his back. The Gribos had beaten him every day for a long time now. Prince Kabu was from the Kru tribe. For many years, the Gribos and Kru had fought. When Kabu was 14, the Gribos had conquered his village and taken him as a hostage until his father could pay the war tax. Each month, his father had brought baskets of rice, goats, and bundles of sugarcane. But nothing could satisfy the Gribo war chief. They beat Kabu to motivate his father to pay more. Finally, the beating stopped. A Gribo warrior reached over Kabu's head and untied the knots binding him to the wooden axe. The prince slumped to the ground, panting heavily. Blood gushed from fresh wounds in his back. "Stand, weakling!" the warrior shouted. Kabu hadn't stood for days. The Gribo warrior knew this, but still he taunted him. He kicked Kabu in the ribs. Kabu tried to push himself to his feet. His legs shook violently, but hardly moved him. Finally, the warrior bent down, grabbed Kabu by the wrists, and dragged him to the stockade. Late the next day, the warrior again dragged Prince Kabu to the wooden axe. Kabu peered over his arm at the other Kru prisoners. Tears stained several faces. He knew he must look terrible to them, his ribs sticking out, his back a mess of scars. This will be the last time I see them, he thought. I can't hold on any longer. He smiled at Java, a small Kru boy who'd often snuck him food. Java didn't smile back. The warrior tied Kabu's hands to the whipping post. Kabu listened to the familiar sound of the vine as it whirled through the air. Suddenly, a blinding light flashed from the sky. From the corner of his eye, Kabu saw the warrior hurled onto the ground. "Get up! Flee!" a loud voice called out from the middle of the light. The rope snapped and fell from Kabu's wrists. He pushed himself off the wooden axe and dashed into the jungle. As he ran, he couldn't help wondering why the pain he lived with for weeks had disappeared. What is this strange life that has saved my life? Kabu ran for a long time. Finally, when he could run no further, he hid in the hollow of a tree. I will travel at night, he decided. That way the Gribos won't find me. In the daytime, Kabu hid in the trees. At night, he hiked through the dense jungle. The strange light returned each night and lit his path. The light must protect me too, Kabu thought. No one walks safely through the jungle at night with crocodiles, poisonous snakes, and lepers on the prowl. His journey stretched from days to weeks until Kabu finally stepped from the jungle into a large open field. Miraculously, he reached Monrovia, the capital of Liberia. Dun, dun, dun. What happens next? The story ends up outside.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!